Welcome, everybody. I'm back talking about trading again. Today, I'm going to show you today's price action and how to take trades in a search and destroy day. Now, I knew today was going to be a search and destroy day as soon as I got on the charts. We had a huge expansion yesterday on Monday. When we have distribution on Monday, anticipate Tuesday to be consolidation because we're now back to the accumulation phase. We already distributed. Now we're back to accumulation. Wednesday is going to be manipulation. Thursday, Friday is going to be distribution or something like that. I'm not calling it exactly. Today, I'm going to show you my executions. So I actually did full risk today, and I'll show you why. Ideally, this would want to be, you would want to cut your risk on this kind of day, but it was looking way too clean. I knew price. I was calling out every move, and it was just looking great. So 9:30 we had choppiness, and we had our Judas at 9:40. I called you. I say in my past videos that we can have our Judas swing anytime from 9:30 to 10 a.m. as long as there isn't a previous swing, right? There's no Judas swing in this area except for here. Now, my instincts were I wanted to catch a long in this area. I was feeling a little bit greedy. Price was moving very volatile. I was afraid I was going to miss out on something, a fear of missing out. But instead, I waited for a market structure shift for a value gap. Now, if I go to the 15-minute, mind all the markups, you can see we have a breaker, low, high, lower, low, higher, high, and a fair value gap in the discount of the breaker. That was where my eyes were at. We also had SMT on the hourly, and we were in a discount to begin with on the day. So I was looking bullish. I also saw these equal highs and this low resistance liquidity. And I was like, dude, this is the most bread and butter ICT setup you can get. So when price is low resistance liquidity, you don't want to anticipate the second fair value gap to get filled. If we're going to expand, we're going to expand very fast. And you can see that's what happened here is we took out these highs fairly fast. I entered on that tiny little fair value gap there. I didn't anticipate us to go down there. I did not full leverage my trade in case we did go down there. And then I added more partials on the retracement to the 3-minute fair value gap to this 1-minute fair value gap. Now, I put my stop loss at the bottom of this fair value gap because if we were going to trade into this fair value gap, I wouldn't even want to see it touch this low, let alone consequent encroachment. I held out to here. I was going to hold till this high up here, the hourly fair value gap, but I closed down into this, closing in profit on my second parts. So that alone was $500 on the trade, 2RR. And then the silver bullet, I'm not going to lie, guys, I got a little greedy here, right? I was aiming for 9 a.m. lows, and I didn't consider that we're in a search and destroy. So internal and external range liquidity is a factor in that. I was $600 in profit here, and I didn't even take a partial. I was going to take my first partial at 9 a.m. lows, and then my take profit would be here. I got too greedy, and I closed at break even. So I'm up 500 on the day, I think. This is one of my accounts, 52,000 account balance. So one more trade, maybe two, and then I'll pass this eval. But yeah, I got a little greedy today on the silver bullet. The silver bullet still did work, right? We had SMT on these equal highs. We had a higher time frame PD array, and I looked at ES for this higher time frame PD array. NYM. When you're trading futures, you don't always need to stick to one chart. If we're clearly reacting off of let's say a breaker on ES, and there's no fair value gap on NQ, that's still a futures PD array. And that's what we did here. And then we formed SMT from this high to this high. And we moved quite fast down to these lows. And that's it. That's the setup. The rest of the day, you don't really want to touch. When price is consolidating like this, accumulation, when we have search and destroy, you don't really want to touch the PM. Ideally, you just want to stick to the most high probability time setups, and that's 9:30 and silver bullet. If they don't work out, get off the charts because a new trader to an intermediate trader is very vulnerable to chasing your losses in search and destroy. You need to have a very strong mindset to be able to trade search and destroy because you can easily get caught up in one of these with with a long short, long short, long short, long short, and just completely blow your account. That's why in search and destroy, it is quintessential to trade time only. That way, it limits you to only a few setups, and you're not just going off of what you see on the 1 minute. Yesterday was a very clean day, and I talked about this in my previous videos. When we have news before 9:30, you can expect that to be the manipulation. So if you look here, we're above Asian range, right? My AMD model. We manipulate even higher at the news at 8:30, consolidate, expand lower at 9:30, which is confirming our bias. 9:40 Judas, trading back into the expansion. Let me put in a replay here. Into a 5-minute fair value gap, market structure shift. You could also count that as a breaker. Let me go up to the 3-minute. All right. And we expand lower. I took this trade as well. And this, I think, was 1, 2, 3, 4 RR for me. I got in some positions here. My stop here. And my take profit was the Asian lows right here. This was my trade. We continued lower in the PM. But again, I got the main distribution part of the day, and that's during 10 a.m. Like I say, 10 a.m. gives the distribution part of the day. I just wanted to add that in, guys, because yesterday was really clean. And yeah, that's today's session. The 930 Judas model to the equal highs, to then reverse down to the silver bullet model. And honestly, any normal trader would have took partials here and also closed break even, so had a little bit of profits, but still, this is the winning trade. No losing trade here because I broke even, and that's it on the day. I do want to point out that the reason why I long than short is only because of this search and destroy. If I would had a bullish narrative today, I wouldn't have taken this silver bullet. Ideally, just because we took these equal highs, we didn't tap into anything higher time frame, like maybe a 4-hour or 1-hour PD array. There was a possibility that we could continue higher if we didn't have a search and destroy day today. But because of what I saw on the charts, getting onto the charts, I anticipated this type of price action. Now I'm anticipating tomorrow, Wednesday, to give us a manipulation. If that's bullish, possibly up to these PD arrays up here, this hourly fair value gap and this 4-hour inversion to this order block as manipulation, then continue down lower for the quarterly shift because I am bearish now. But I hope you guys found this insightful. Today was a quick video. And yeah, good luck and good trading.